today's topic is food hygiene. As the name implies, food hygiene is the measure that is taken for maintaining the hygiene and standard of the food. Food is one such component which goes through a number of processes, right from the processing, production, storage, and consumption. So, the hygiene at all levels is very important. Now, the objectives for today's topic will be define food hygiene, enumerate the various methods of food fortification, describe the various methods of food fortification, describe the effect of food fortification in relation to public health, define additives, and list various food additives, describe the effect of food additives, define food adulteration, effects of food adulteration, and the legal acts related to food adulteration. Now, as you all know, that food is something which is very important. It constitutes our physical environment. It's a potential source of infection and it gets contaminated by microbes throughout its journey from the production to the consumption level. So precautions must be taken while procuring, storing, processing, and cooking of the food. So why do we need to have, what's the aim of this food hygiene? The aim is that food should not be contaminated so as to prevent food poisoning and other diseases which are foodborne. WHO in 1984 gave the definition of food hygiene as all the measures that are necessary during production, processing, storage, distribution, and preparation of food to ensure that it is safe, wholesome, and fit for human consumption. Meaning by that it should be right enough to be suitable for a human being. Now coming to the food fortification. As the word itself implies, fortification means we are fortifying or we are adding up something to build up that food. Right? Something is being added to gain added advantage to that food. So it is the process of adding nutrients to food to maintain or improve the quality of the diet of a group, a community, or a population. Those nutrients which are added to the food are in smaller quantities. So here the food is fortified, something good, something nutritional is added to the food. The aim here is to prevent the nutritional disorders which occur because of deficiency of certain nutrients from that food. So any examples we can think of? So examples are addition of iodine and iron to common salt, and this is called as the double fortification, wherein both of the components are added to the salt, and the aim is why iodine is added? Iodine is added to prevent and control the endemic goiter, and iodine is added in the form of potassium or sodium iodide. Then iron is added to prevent iron deficiency anemia. This can be done twin fortification or it can be added separately as well. Iodine can be added separately and iron can be added separately as well. Another thing is fortification of food for the midday meal. During the midday meal, foods are given to the children. Those foods are not, these are not something which is a replacement, but they are supplementary. In addition to what they are eating, these foods are given. And these foods are such, these are fortified foods which are having an additional benefit. For instance, sometimes we give, they give wheat flour, which is, added lysine is added to that wheat flour, and bread is made out of it so that the lysine deficiency is taken care of. Then fortification of edible oils with vitamin A and vitamin D. There are certain supplies which are given in the ICDS, through ICDS, that is Integrated Child Development Services Scheme. Their foods are given which are supplementary foods, and those foods are rich in iron, folic acid, and calcium. A fluoridation of water is also done for prevention of dental caries. Now, what are the criteria? There has to be certain criteria for fortification of the food. Firstly, the vehicle must be constantly consumed by the community. We cannot go for fortification of such foods which are rarely consumed. Like salt. Salt is an everyday requirement of each household. So if salt is fortified, we are giving an additional benefit to the people. Nutrients should not be hazardous. It should not cause any problem to the individual or the community. Nutrient should not undergo any change in taste, smell, appearance, or consistency. And the cost of fortification should be affordable. It should not be beyond. We are adding, suppose salt is fortified with iron or iodine, the cost should be such that it should be affordable to the people and should not be beyond the reach of the common people. So this is fortification. Like double fortified with salt is double fortified with iron and iodine. Wheat is fortified with iron, folic acid, vitamin B12. Rice is fortified with iron, folic acid, B12. Again, vanaspati ghee or oil is fortified with vitamin A and D. Milk is fortified with vitamin A and D. And the benefits are fourfold. Like if vitamin A and vitamin D, vitamin A for instance is added to the milk, vitamin A will cause an improvement in the eyesight. Vitamin D will make the bones stronger. Calcium will make the bones stronger. B12 will make the skin healthy. And these nutrients are additionally required for the development of an individual, for the development of a child, and they also boost the immunity. So the effects of food fortification are: it provides essential nutrients to the food simultaneously. Foods fortified with vitamins and minerals enhance the absorption of other nutrients. And if we are providing or if nutrients through food supply, it reduces the cost incurred. For instance, vitamin D is not affordable. So if some food, say milk or oil, is fortified with vitamin D, a person has to purchase oil and he'll get an additional benefit of vitamin D from the same component. So the additional cost will not be incurred. Now coming to food additives. Food additives are something which are non-food substances that are added to the food, and these food additives are legally permitted. They can range from nutritional supplements, flavor enhancers, antioxidants, preservatives, emulsifiers, regulators. Like I said, they are non-food or non-nutritional substances that are added intentionally to the food, but in small quantities. Why are they added? If they are non-nutritious, what is the reason for adding them? To improve the flavor, texture, or the storage property. It includes substances added in the course of packing, storage, transportation, and handling. There are two categories of food additives: first category and the second category. First category is the direct additives. Direct additives are deliberately added to the food and they are safe. For example, certain coloring agents are added like saffron or turmeric. While making certain sweets, saffron is added. So they are deliberately added, but they are safe. Flavoring agents to enhance the flavor, like vanilla is added to ice cream to give it a vanilla flavor. Then sweetening agents are added, like saccharine. The preservatives are added, which preserve the foods, like sodium benzoate. Now, the common example is this. Would you like this soft drink? If no artificial flavoring and coloring has been added to it, so it will be as bland as water. it will seem as if somebody is drinking a glass of water. So to enhance, to make it, palatable to the eyes, or make it a feast for the eyes, this orange color is added to Mirinda to make it palatable and attractive. But this color which is added is safe and it's not harmful. Second category of additives are the indirect additives. These are the additives which are unsafe and they are accidentally added, or they are contaminants. They are incidentally added when through packing, processing, farming, or environmental conditions. These are regulated by the Food Adulteration Act 1954. Chemical additives are added to food because they increase the shelf life of the food, they improve their taste, the texture, the color, and they seem attractive from farm to the plate. What are the effects of these food additives? They can cause diarrhea and colics, hyperacidity, irritability, skin problems like hives, rashes, asthma, rhinitis, chronic diseases like obesity, high blood pressure, heart disease. Now coming to the food adulteration. As the name signifies that we are adulterating something, we are impuring something. So here, some chemical, some form of a substance is added, mixed, substituted to the original food item. So it consists of mixing, substitution, removal, concealing the quality of the product. So adulterant is a material used for adulteration, and an article is said to be adulterated if it's not of good quality and it is harmful to health, it's obtained from diseased animals, it contains any poisonous substances, it contains prohibited preservatives in excess limits. Some of the common used adulterations done are with milk, starch and water is added. To butter, margarine is added. Brick powder is added to turmeric powder. Fructose syrup or cane sugar is added to honey. So again, since we are adulterating the food, we are disturbing the normal food, health hazards are likely to occur. And the common health hazards that occur are GIT disturbances like diarrhea, stomach cancers, lathyrism due to kesari dal consumption, anemia, skin lesions, toxicity due to toxic sweets, additives, there is an act which was passed for preventing this food adulteration. Many acts are there, many acts have been passed, but the common one is the Prevention of Food Adulteration Act, which was given in 1952. It was enacted by the Indian Parliament in 1954 with the objective of ensuring pure and wholesome food to the consumers and to protect them from deceptive trade practices. The Act was amended in 1964, 76, and lately in 1986 to make the Act more stringent. Minimum imprisonment of 6 months with a minimum fine of 1,000 rupees is envisaged for a proven adulteration. Whereas, for the cases of adulteration which may render food injurious or cause death or such harm to cause death or grievous hurt, the grievous enough if the adulteration is such that a person has a grievous hurt or the person dies, so there will be a lifetime imprisonment and a fine not less than rupees 5,000. Food adulteration is an evil, and for it everybody is responsible. Be it the general public. Why public is responsible? Traders are responsible, food inspectors all are responsible. Public is responsible because they are not aware of the dangers of adulteration. They don't know. They feel, oh, this food is cheap and it looks very good and attractive, so I'll buy it. But they don't know that has been adulterated, which is very harmful. The traders, again, they are responsible because they are the ones who have greed for money and they adulterate the food. Food inspectors, they make money out of it. The Act regulates the use of pesticides, chemicals, flavors, and other additives in food preparation. Provision is there for the fortification of food. There is a provision, like I said earlier as well, that there is a provision which has been given for fortification of food, but not for the adulteration of food. Now, a word about food preservation. Why then food has to be preserved? To preserve the nutritive value, to improve its shelf life, to avoid food wastage, and to save time in procurement. And it's done by bacteriostatic and bactericidal methods. Bacteriostatic methods like dehydration, salting, refrigeration. Bactericidal methods like heating, canning, etc. Thank you.